Are you tired of spending outrageous prices at the shop or dealership because maybe you don't have the right tool you need at home? Well, I got the perfect tool for you, and here it is. The Tool Tire Machine and Balancer combo that I bought off Amazon for $2,600. Now, when you go to buy one of these, you want to make sure you spend a couple $100 more on getting a tire machine that has all the extra attachments, because sometimes you run into some tires that can cause a lot of issues. So having these attachments make it really nice. So it's definitely worth spending a couple $100 more and getting a tire machine with these attachments. So a good thing about having a tire machine and stuff at home for yourself is it saves you a lot of money in one. If you have a bunch of cars like I do, it saves you about $140 to $160 per car mounting and balancing tires. And another really nice thing about it is if you have a lot of close friends and family that might need some tires done, doing about $100 per car, 4 tires, and you can have this machine paid off in about 26 cars, which this already done about 10 cars in about 3 months. So it's making its money back. So if you're worried about spending money on something like this, it's definitely worth it. You guys need to get one. All right, so what we have here today is a 31-inch tire that come off a Toyota Tacoma. We're gonna go ahead and get this tire dismounted and mounted. But also the really cool thing about this tire machine is it can do a 12-inch wheel all the way up to a 28-inch wheel, and it also does up to a 40-inch tire. So it does a lot of different variations of car tires, truck tires, and you name it. So let's go ahead and break this bead, get it on here, and show you how easy it is to get this tire off and on. All right, ready? Now, when you dismount the tires, make sure that if you have tire sensors in your wheels, you want the tire sensors to be on the opposite side of the shovel, because if you don't do that, you're going to break your tire sensor off there, and you don't want to have to worry about that. So definitely make sure tire sensor opposite side. Okay, sometimes you might have some issues trying to break the bead on the back of the tire, but that's not a big deal. All we need to do is work the shovel all the way around the tire, and you'll eventually get that bead broke off there. Not a big deal at all. All right, before we toss this tire up here, this machine also has 2 options to clamp in your wheel to it. You can clamp on the inside. Now, if you clamp on the inside, it could potentially mar up your wheel. So if you have a really nice wheel that you don't want to mar up, it does have plastic protectors where you can clamp from the outside of your wheel. So you need to make sure when you're clamping this, you're clamping it how you want to clamp it. So if you're worried about scratching your wheel or anything, clamp it from the outside. So let's get this tossed up there. All right, another thing is when you're dismounting your old tire, if you have a tire sensor, you want to make sure it's right where the head of the tire machine is, right here. So when you're prying it off with your tire bar, you're not going to break that wheel sensor off there. So just make sure you keep an eye on that. Also, I have been an auto mechanic for over 15 years now, and I can tell you I've used machines that were $20,000+ and now just to a couple grand. And I can honestly tell you, there's not much of a difference. So we're going to get this tire dismounted. What am I doing here? So you've seen how easy it was to get the tire off. It's just as easy getting the tire on. So let's go ahead and get this thing on there really quick. So the number one thing is make sure you lube the living crap out of the tire. It doesn't hurt to lube it. So let's lube it up. Just makes everything easier on you. Also, I'm going to go ahead and link in the description the Amazon links to the tire machine and balancer that I have. And any of the tools that I'm using with this machine, I'm going to go ahead and link them in the description also. They're also Amazon links. Now here with this tire machine, it does have an option for the roller to sit on the tire. You can lower it down here. I like to put a bar on this side and kind of work it around. If you have more of a lower profile tire, you might need this roller. But since these tires are kind of like a balloon, you don't really need it. So just make sure your tire sits on the head properly so you don't rip your tire. So we're having a little issue setting the bead on this just because this is a 9-inch wide wheel and these tires are like super squished. So this tool also comes with like a cheetah to help blast the air. So sometimes you might need a little extra hand to be able to do this. So we're going to see if we can get these beads seated. If not, we do have another trick. So we'll see. Let's see if I can get it over here. Ready? 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so now it's time for the balancer. This thing is super easy to set up. If you look here, there's a position with a measurement that measures the inside of the diameter here from the machine to the wheel. And then you got your little calipers over here that measures the width of the wheel, which this would be your measurement B. Then you just plug in the width, and then, is that 2 there? And then you just put your wheel size in there on D. So we did that already. And it also has a pretty easy setup on how you're going to put your weights on here. We have it set up for aluminum too, which is inside sticky and then an outside sticky on the outside of your wheel here. So we're going to go ahead and spin it. So before you do this, make sure you take off your old wheel weights before you spin it and see what you need. So also, this had sticky weights, so I just use like a screwdriver and hammer, get the sticky weights off. But also, if you have like the metal weights that you're trying to get off there, these are probably one of the best pair of wheel weight pliers you can buy. So I'll also link those in the description to my Amazon links. So check those out if you need them. Anyhow, we're gonna go and get the weight on there. Which, when I clean the wheels for sticky weights, I just use a little bit of brake clean and a rag, and that's how I get it cleaned up. Now we're just spinning around to get the outside weight here. I spun it the wrong direction. And there you go. So now it shoots out a laser where you need to put it. So you want to center your weights in that laser. First, you need to clean it. All right, so there it is. It's that easy to mount and balance your new tires. So if you guys are thinking about getting one of these, definitely do it. It's worth the money. So you guys have a good one. Take it easy.